Viewers like you make this program possible. Support your local PBS station.
The following program contains discussions of mental health challenges and suicide, which some may find disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
Sometimes you race for more than being first across the finish line.
Go, Dylan, go!
Sometimes you fight for more than just a knockout.
I'm building my own path and making a new path for other women.
And sometimes an ultra marathon is more than how far you can run.
They gave their lives for us to be here.
These modern-day warriors are tapping into an ancient spirit, a power to fight against the odds for themselves, their families and communities, and their nations. This is Native America.
As they get to TP turn, it still looks to be former relay. They're leading the way. On down the stretch they come. It still looks to be Paramount the North. He's going to come all the way down here to the...
It's the National Indian Relay Championship.
As they come in, he's coming in pretty...
With deep roots in Native warrior tradition, teams risk life and limb in a spectacular competition of speed, skill, and courage. This year, a new team is getting ready to hit the track. They're from the Flathead Reservation in Montana. And their rider is 15-year-old Dylan Irvine. Dylan will need to master a dangerous skill, leaping from one horse onto another.
His other shoes look good. I checked his feet. They all look good. His hoofs. So.
His father, Lloyd, helps him train.
This is his first full year race, and so we're really new at it. But as far as horses, I was raised around them all my life. Relay is a big commitment. So we have to juggle a lot with their schoolwork and, with us guys practicing every day and feeding every day and hauling hay and all that stuff comes together. So it takes the whole family to get everything done.
When I get up in the morning, gotta check their water, make sure it's full. Then when I get back from school, I check their water again, pick their hooves, brush them down, make sure they're all good.
Dylan's team is Dancing Boy Express, formed with his friends Jordan, Thomas, and Talon.
I'm a front holder, so I have to hold the horse before, so he can jump on. If the horse isn't in control, he has a bad jump, then we'll get behind on that. These horses are good trained. So
They'll stand all day long.
yeah, this tiny right here, he will stand all day. I switched over to a mugger. When he goes for an exchange, he jumps off the horse he came in with, and I have to catch the horse. So when he jumps off and I catch the horse, he gets on another horse, and I give him the horse he just jumped off of. So it's kind of, and that horse that usually starts is the one that's still fired up, and he'll kick, he'll throw his head around. If you don't catch them and they start running away, then you get disqualified.
The only thing going through their mind is go.
Yeah, it's just the impact of it. They just want to go. If you get stepped on, take a hit, but, my grandma always says that, take a hit, and she'll be sitting there. She'll be scared, but we can take a hit. We usually wrestle around, so, we're good. Heads up, Tom. The horse is steaming now.
You're gonna be coming up probably at 25 miles an hour, hit him twice. As soon as you see Thomas, go ahead and come right at him, coming down, focus right at him. Then when you jump off, pop off, land on your 2 feet, jump right on. Thomas, face him that way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Indian relay is won and lost in the exchanges between horses. The boys spend hours practicing every week.
You're riding the fastest horse on earth. These thoroughbreds, they're strong, they're built to run. But after the first lap, it's anybody's race, because it really depends on the dismount and getting back on. Oh, nice, perfect.
It's so unpredictable. If you trip, you could get run over, you could get stomped on. You just gotta time it perfectly.
Way to get back up, sticking with it. 1, 2, and on.
The horses have done a lot for our family and our community. They have brought a lot of healing, especially within our family. We have had a lot of traumatic events that have happened in past years. My husband was a basketball coach, and during his tenure coaching for those 2 years, we lost several students to suicide. And our son Dylan, he was so traumatized from that. He went from a really outgoing, just a happy-go-lucky kid too. He just really shut down.
The community has experienced a number of suicides. They're taking efforts to help address this public health crisis. Starting Dancing Boy Express is the Irvine family's way to help.
Deciding to bring in horses here, that really made a change in Dylan. He just started to be our son again and be a happier kid. And I really feel that brought a lot of healing to him.
I tell the boys what their old ones used to go through. They paved the way for you to be here today. So you need to follow in their footsteps. And that's, spiritually, mentally, physically. Just do your best. Never give up. Our people never gave up.
That power to never give up is warrior spirit. It's in the heart of a young man fighting under the weight of trauma to not only survive, but to win.
Going for the high side. He's got the fire in there right now. Letting the roof under the average.
It's in the punch of a young woman and her dream to honor her ancestors in the ring, serve her nation in the military, and go for gold in the Olympics. And it's in the sound of runners' feet on ancestral land, passing forward the memory from generation to generation of those who fought and died to protect a way of life.
En buete mawa binhangina harnena ta hechan ta haansha ta ikuya.
Here in Tesuque Pueblo, people gather to commemorate the first American Revolution.
Touch the ground, there we go, get grounded.
Not the one that started in 1776,
Bring it back up.
but rather the Revolution of 1680,
We're twisting.
the Pueblo Revolt.
On that be 4th of July wa bagina Independence Day. That 1680.
Gil Vigil is the executive director of the 8 Northern Indian Pueblos Council.
Forward or backwards,
He
whichever.
leads this 25th commemorative run, honoring the day Pueblo fighters defeated the most powerful empire in the world, doing it in total secrecy and by running.
Eran no na ta itse kan kemara kuiwa sengwagi. Ogiani ia. The kemu. Ya handi.
today with the younger ones. It's important that they know that our people had suffered in order to be here today.
When we have this particular event, I find it like a source of strength that I didn't know existed. And I really want to kind of honor those who came before me. Being a part of a community that stood up against colonization, we've had to work really hard to maintain our traditions, maintain our ceremonies and our language.
The Pueblo Revolt is the first successful uprising against a colonial power in North America. It was organized by sending runners over 100 miles. That's 4 marathons, carrying a secret message encoded in a knotted cord. Two of the runners were captured by the Spanish, tortured, and killed. They were from Tesuque.
When I'm running, I'm thinking about Gatu and Amta and the fact that they were from our pueblo and that they gave their lives for us to be here and doing things that we're doing.
The Pueblo Revolt continues to this day through running and in the battle of who gets to tell the story and how it's remembered. In Albuquerque and Santa Fe, the story is memorialized with heroic monuments to the Spanish conquistadors. But Pueblo artist Jason Garcia depicts the conquistadors as the Pueblo people see them, as savage invaders. And he does it in a graphic novel style.
In kweko sondaro o tsakwari di e. I sigi ang e wambo na imbi ko gi ding hogi. Eradi ke gi ang e misa te I kuiri imbi yo sigi. I hangwinu peri teri poye I he kweko ovehe. E ne gi di tu chanu. Din pame na bitewa. Na imbi wati din arena. Baiki poawe pahanu. Baiki senenda kuyenda era enyari we hanu. Eri o akuma uingia in senembi anda ovetsa.
Cutting off the foot of the men was an atrocity striking at the heart of Pueblo running traditions. It planted the seeds for the Pueblo Revolt. The Spanish will learn that inner strength, warrior spirit, can defeat the largest foes. It's a lesson Mariah Bahi learnt from an early age.
When I was little, my brothers were the only ones boxing, and I would come to the gym with them, but I wouldn't practice because my dad didn't want me to.
They said, no, you don't need a box. You can go play volleyball, play basketball, be a cheerleader, you know, do something else.
I always thought that everything that my brothers could do, I could do better.
You hit low, pinpoint.
So it kind of bugged me that they were boxing and I wasn't.
He goes, no, I'm gonna box, I'm gonna box, I'm gonna box. We fought.
We fought for a couple of years, but I won.
Her winning streak continues. At age 18, Mariah Bahi is a 7-time national amateur boxing champion.
Head movement.
Now she's got her sights on representing the U.S. and Navajo Nation, going for gold at the 2024 Olympics.
Head movement.
Her coach is her dad, Johnny Bahi.
She's my princess. And that's where her team name comes from, is Team Princess.
Johnny's great uncle, Lee Damon, a World War II veteran, learned to box in the service.
Now you're sweating.
When he returned home to Chinle, Arizona, he found many in the community struggling with gang violence and drug abuse. He built this gym to teach his nephews the sport and keep them safe.
My dad picked it up and says it saved his life. It kept him out of trouble, kept him in the gym, away from gangs, away from alcohol and drugs as well. Eventually, I took over. Away from him, you need to jab and move.
My brothers inspire me. I see them as my biggest competition, so I can overstep them or work harder than them.
That round. Good. Good body head.
My first match, I remember before going into the ring, I was crying because I was scared and I was nervous.
When you move to your left, triple jab. Jab, jab, jab. Step over. Good girl.
After the first round, I was really calm, and then we continued the fight, and I lost, but I was happy because it was my first fight.
And I figured a couple of fights down the road, she's gonna get hit hard. She's not gonna want to compete no more. You're starting to get tired. You gotta move your head. That's part of your defense. She went to national tournament. Good counter. And she fought a young lady who threw the perfect hook. Fractured her nose. I said, okay, I guess we're done with boxing with her. We'll keep up with my boys. But once the nose healed, she was back in the ring. Good job, guys.
This is one of your fights, huh? We're in South Dakota. I love your entrance here. It's pretty cool. With your flag.
They never know how to say Bahi.
I know.
When I was growing up, my mom was basically the only woman I had in my life. She's my best friend. She's the hardest worker I've seen, and I cherish the times I have with her.
What were you thinking then?
I was scared.
Why?
Because she was older and she was bigger.
Man, you can see it right there. I push my daughter and my kids to go off and go do things. I tell her, don't let a man work for you, you know? Be your own boss, make your own money, buy your own house. Do it for yourself. I know it wasn't easy, but we made it look easy. She wants to be the first Native American female to compete on the United States boxing team in the Olympics.
The Olympics has always been my goal since I had my first fight.
Her goals, her ambitions have pushed her a long ways. She's only 18. She's a 7-time national boxing champion. I've seen her compete with the top females in the nation, and I've heard them say, I'm gonna knock out this little Indian girl. I'm gonna stop her. At the end of the fight, Mariah's still standing.
Mariah, you ready to go?
Yeah.
Let's go, Mariah. 4. DK to 5.
Now, she's getting ready to go to the Marines.
7.
She goes to the high school. She trains with the other Marine recruits out there.
Get it, Mariah, pull.
I made the choice to do the Marines because they have a lot more opportunities.
Come on, you're doing good.
And for boxing, I would do more training and like harder work.
One more. Let's go, Mariah.
While Mariah trains for boot camp, Dylan and his team are about to go head-to-head with the best in Indian relay.
We're heading towards the National Indian Relay Championships in Blackfoot, Idaho. They say that's where it all began. So, you know, we're really excited to go there and race against the best in Indian country.
The Shoshone-Bannock tribes host teams from more than a dozen Plains Indian horse nations. They're competing for $40,000 in prize money.
Who's ready for heat number 4 of the relays? We're here, we're hot and ready to trot. We got Indians from all over right here, ladies and gentlemen. All over.
Before each race, I'm pretty sick to my stomach. I get really nervous and high anxiety.
Me preparing before the race, what goes through my head is, I hope I can make a clean exchange. I hope I could get a good start.
Here comes our boys.
All right, they got him on, ladies and gentlemen. We're waiting for the high sign. He dropped the flag, and there they go. Blame the roof onto the alley.
Dylan wasn't ready. Look at
Dylan!
What the hell? Black Rock Relay, pushing in the inside. Looks to be Young Money. And on the TP turn we go. Still looks to be Brew Crew. Hold it down, Tyler.
Dylan trails badly after a poor start.
Ladies and gentlemen, let him hear ya. That's that we come. Brew Crew sitting right there in the back.
He can still make up ground with a good exchange.
Here comes Brew Crew.
But he comes in too fast, thundering well beyond his teammates.
Stay with it, Dylan. That's my boys. Stay with it, Dylan.
In the rear looks to be Blanket Bull in the fourth.
Go, Dylan, go!
Go, Dylan! Go!
Black Rock Relay, play the roof. Here's my word.
Things don't go the way I want them to go. I just try to keep my best attitude and be a good sport about it. You just gotta ride hard and do your best.
Come on, Dylan!
Run up and grab him! Run up and grab him! Good job, Thomas!
Dylan loses more time on his second exchange,
Come on!
while the other teams lap him and finish the race.
Keep going, go!
Come on,
go.
Dylan!
There we go, Dylan! Woo!
There goes Dancing Boy. They're headed on out. They got one more lap. Here's Blanket Bull, ladies and gentlemen. Blanket Bull.
The start is very important.
Guy goes in the air, he needs to get on.
So, and that's what happened? Okay. Oh, well.
It's all right, though. Tomorrow, new day. Tomorrow.
Dancing Boy with Dylan Irvin.
Dylan and Dancing Boy Express finish last. But they'll get another shot in a second relay tomorrow. Among the runners of the Pueblo Revolt commemorative run is Christian Gehring. He's one of the fastest long-distance trail runners in America, covering distances of over 60 miles in less than 8 hours.
I've just so happened to have a passion and a gift that aligns with running. I've come to understanding what that means to me as a Pueblo person, putting intention and breath behind my footsteps and where I'm running and the landscapes I run over.
For Christian, ultramarathoning is a passion. But running for the Pueblo people in 1680 was the key to organizing the revolt. And it's here, in Taos, 80 years after the Acoma massacre, that the revolt was planned by a mysterious leader named Popeye. Ilona Spruce has lived in Taos her whole life.
Yeah, Ilona.
It's good to see you.
So good to see you.
Taos is known for being over 1,000 years old. We had the Spanish come in the mid-1500s. The first church was built by 1619. And by 1680, because of all the religious persecution, the Pueblo communities wanted to come together and revolt against the Spanish.
I've been told Pope was hiding out up here.
He was here. Like, that's what's so mind-blowing about where we live, is that we still have actual homes that he was probably in. It was his plan to get the Pueblos together to revolt against the Spanish. I wanted to bring you here because this is one of the main water sources that the Pueblos utilize, not just for resource, but for transportation as well. This is our connection to the other Pueblos. The Rio Grande runs through every other Pueblo community too.
So how would have the runners utilized the river to help spread the message to the other Pueblos?
We always had traditional pathways down in this area. And running culture was definitely a part of who we were at the time.
From Taos, Pope sends out runners to dozens of pueblos spread out over 1,000 square miles. They each carry a knotted cord with a secret message.
Tua herakat tuari o te tsuge oinge wang yong dang huiri wang pamu na kwimui. Tamua de huisu kema in pamu. De huisu boa iheri di hengwino kema. Inguye ke nung tua herakat tuari wang ke wang tuchano hera wang he. Pope ong hangin po wan shain in etnong era in kwekwawa ding hangin po hari kemain eri ho pope natu I hangwino I
I want you to pull the rifle back into your shoulder as tight as you can, not too much to where you're shaking or anything like that, but you want it tight into your shoulder. It helps to absorb recoil. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Shooter, stand by. Fire. Remove your magazine.
Boxer Mariah Bahi is getting a head start on her basic training for the Marines.
Place your weapon down on the deck.
Her father, Johnny, has brought her to train with family friend and Army veteran, Stephen Collins.
I've noticed that you like to hold that magazine well. That's a really good platform to hold. It allows to bring everything a little bit more tight. And you're a boxer, so you naturally, that's how you want to grab your weapon.
These days, Stephen is a SWAT team leader and instructor for the Gallup Police Department.
Pistol grip for you.
He's showing Mariah how to fire an AR-15, the civilian version of the M16 or M4 she'll be using in the Marine Corps.
But when you're breathing, your rifle also starts moving around. So what I want you to do is wherever you feel comfortable, hold your breath, put it on fire, and then squeeze the trigger. How did that shot group feel this time?
It felt good.
Look at that group. They are touching. That is perfect. That's like Marine Corps standard right there. I haven't seen groups that tight in a long time.
Mariah's last 3 shots are so accurate, they fall almost on top of each other.
That is really outstanding. That's amazing. Try it again?
Yeah.
All right, steady on. If you're a Native American, it's a really proud thing to do, is to serve your country. It's in our blood, you know, the warrior mentality, the warrior spirit.
On my dad's side, all his mother's brothers were, served in the military. They were all World War II veterans. My dad's uncle was one of the original 29 code talkers.
Mariah's great uncle, Lowell Damon, was one of 29 Navajo who were recruited in World War II to create a secret military code using their native language. In the Battle of Iwo Jima, it was put to the test.
Salazzo ashlakone bebe dochihigi e Iwo Jima de dahisketle the car ke anape pe el stone ye haja ni kai do hadade kai. Salazzo asilete de bohodnihigi e nalso shikai sad ayila do benebezad nashchago ye na bahagi sa yeil sos. Yinesh ito yish trago anne de pe anna achi pi dat is trahe de na sonse traje klochen si da ta tra astra na ke shash.
That message took 20 seconds to send. In English code, it would have taken 30 minutes. Navajo, a language that had been banned in schools, helped win the war and save thousands of American lives.
It makes me feel proud to be following their footsteps. I was really nervous because I never shot a big gun like that. I shot my dad's .22 once, and I don't really like guns or handling them. But I guess I'm pretty good at it.
I was worried about her when she gets to boot camp and have to do that type of stuff. I'm not worried no more.
Just 3 misses. That's amazing. It's these lower ones. You start to gain that confidence. You start to get a little bit cocky, you let your guard down, you know what I mean? Then you start getting careless, especially with things that you don't expect missing. But everything up there, okay, all where they're supposed to be at. Because it requires your concentration because they're further away. Or they appear to be further away because they're smaller. Make sense? It's the way it is in combat. Obviously, you know, that's the way it is in boxing. Just because it's a bigger target, slower, you know, less experience, that doesn't mean you let your guard down and get cocky. 85%. Sharpshooter.
One person I look up to is Narcissus Rivas. There's a lot of people that are really confident on their horses. They know their stuff, and they're really good at riding, and they've been doing this for a long time, since they were little too. Narcissus Rivas, Chris Carlson, they've been the ones that have really been helping me out along the way. You know, they've been teaching me a lot.
How's your guys' day going?
Pretty good.
Feel timid on that start or feel all right?
Feel all right now.
Did you learn anything yet? What'd you learn?
Don't follow the rules.
Rules are meant to be broken. one guy's in the front of you, you better make sure you're already getting going. You guys want to be that team that's in the front and starting a race, you know? Like feeling that dirt in your face all the time? It's pretty tough after a while. And well, that's it, you either want to put dirt in someone's face or eat it. That's the choice you got to make there. Let's have confidence in yourself today, bud. It's all about confidence. Remember, your future girlfriend's probably sitting up in that crowd waiting for you. Waiting for you to come in hot, make that one good exchange. Just keep trying, keep trying. Watch videos. Go over your videos. We'll see where you guys make mistakes. You know, see where you can better yourselves. So I watch even videos now, like I just watched mine. I was like, holy, that guy came in slow. Came in like an old guy. But you kind of have to teach yourself. You kind of gotta want it, you know. Nothing's given. You gotta want it in life. Get beat enough, eat enough dirt, you'll learn. As long as you just keep trying, buddy. Keep trying. Don't give up. Hear it up, okay? Thanks. Right up. All right, you guys take care. Shit, good team, boys. Good team, good team. Keep confidence in yourself. The horses can feel what you're feeling. You know, if you're scared, they're gonna be scared. If you're calm, you're gonna be calm. You know, that's what you want in your horse, being calm, confident. It's just like a drum group singing together. Everybody's hitting on time at the same time. It's just like the horse with Dylan. It takes that spirituality with the horse and the human to come together as one. It's really magic when that happens.
The trail from Taos Pueblo leads south to Pewaukee Pueblo. Ultramarathoner Christian Gehring is joined by Gil Vigil, a former governor of Tesuque. They're going to meet George Rivera, a Pewaukee Pueblo artist. He created a statue to honor Katua and Amtua, the martyred runners from Tesuque.
The smaller scale one that I did, I had them 3D scanned, and then we enlarged them in foam, and then we put clay on and refinish them and do the final touches. And then we made a mold of these, and then they would cast in pieces in bronze.
When you're kind of coming into the idea around representing these two, what were you envisioning?
They were innocent teenagers that were they were their top runners of Tesuque, and they were to run Santa Fe and the Galisteo Basin and back to Tesuque in one day. Let's go to the finished Katua and Amtua bronze here outside. So this is life-size here. The message that they're carrying from Pueblo to Pueblo in the Santa Fe area was a knotted cord. And so the knotted cord, each knot represented a day before the revolt was to take place. I have them on that day pulling out the cord and saying, what does this mean? And so that's what I put into the psyche part of the sculpture, is that they had to have questioned what does this mean when we're taking this from Pueblo to Pueblo and showing it to the leadership in the Pueblo. Similar to Katua and Amtua being asked to deliver this message, I was asked to make the sculpture. You do what you need to do for your people. And so me working on this was really like the brotherhood that we have Pueblo to Pueblo.
It's about portraying our tradition and our cultural ways. It's about our history. The Pueblo Revolt preserved our way, our life. If we didn't have the Pueblo Revolt, we may not have our lives today the way we do. And so because of the 1680 Pueblo Revolt, Pueblo people still survive.
Eri hoppo pe na tu. I hengwino I. Yonen terat teginte kweku sondaro era uwa inda uve hanu. I misa te a te pame. Eri in kweku di shaveme o agapu pe. The Bahari Anwambo, Wiye Mapa Song Kweku, Ipu Megi. Dari Wiye Payo Ue, in Kwekuriwe E. Ewambo, Nambit Oa in, Di Hengwinuri, Netawa, Nambit Oa Kupe, Wa Itzi Kamo.
Today, the struggle is how the dark past of Spanish occupation is remembered.
And it's coming down.
Some monuments in New Mexico celebrating conquistadors are being removed in response to public protests. And a plaza has been designated for the statue of Catua and Umtua in Santa Fe.
Santa Fe sits on the original homelands of Tesuque Pueblo, and the site that we are standing on is right over the Pueblo itself, along with all the other buildings along Santa Fe that was part of Tesuque Pueblo in the day, and we still call it Ogapoge. The whole Santa Fe area is where Tesuque was located. The cathedral itself, they built it there over a kiva, to take away our culture, our religion. Now we got to let our people and children know so the legacy will continue.
But the installation of George Rivera's statue has been stalled since 2018.
I appreciate what many of the tribal leaders have done to go speak to the public about the Pueblo perspective and, the fact that Santa Fe itself was indigenous land. All these things are important for people who live there to know. It's not like they're asking for Santa Fe back, they're just asking for people to educate themselves and have respect.
Johnny Bahi brings his daughter Mariah to the Window Rock Navajo Tribal Park before she leaves for boot camp. Here, a monument commemorates the World War II Navajo code talkers who paved the path to victory in the South Pacific.
These are your original 29 code talkers. There's your grandpa, Walt Damon. This is where legacy starts. You being a Navajo, this is part of your heritage. Now, when we come this way and we see this gentleman over here, your grandfather's father-in-law, Mr. Roy Nota, he's the one that built your gym. All these men that I talked to you about, they're all related to you. That's your family. They took an oath to serve their country, just like you taking the oath to serve your country. When you graduate boot camp, they're all gonna be there. You keep those guys in mind of what they sacrificed to push you on and finish your military career. Whether it be just 4 years or a lifetime of it. You give it 100% just like you did in your boxing career. Never give up.
I feel like I built this role myself with the help of my family. I feel like I'm building my own path and making a new path for other women doing this.
Finish this dream of yours and come back and prove to each and every person that doubted you that you can succeed. Even as when you enter boxing, I tell you, win, lose, or draw, I'm proud of you. Same with this one. Proud of you. Before you started, I'm proud of you. You understand? Just like through your boxing, everything. You're gonna succeed. They're gonna give you a lot of titles in the military. There's only one title you will ever have with me. It's my daughter. My princess.
Oh, okay, let's do this, guys.
Okay.
Try to get to the inside. Boba, oh. Jump on your horse, still. Jump on him. Oh. Boba, oh. 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 Don't be scared of him. Get up there. It's okay. You jumped him all the time. Just warm him up. He'll be all right. He's all right. He's ready to go. It's the win today.
I don't know how other people see me, but I see me as trying to do something for my family and culture and this reservation. There's never been a relay team in Flathead.
It's just been a really good experience for the kids in the community. And for me, it heals me because I just enjoy watching them be with the horses. That brings me joy because I see them doing something that makes them happy.
Sometimes people, we want to win. Not us. We want best for our animals, best for our kids. That's why we're here. Representing our tribe, representing our community, representing our nation. So that's why we're here.
to reach down into oneself, for the strength to fight for more than just yourself. That is warrior spirit. It's a tradition that runs deep in Indian country.
The Pueblo Revolt is still being used today when tribes are saying, let's get together to fight this one issue, you know, because we're more powerful together.
Gatu and Amtua had a responsibility, a duty, a charge to carry the message about a revolt that was going to take place.
And now, here we are many years removed from that, but we still carry on that throughout our younger generations and our older generations.
And I guess that's the significance of the Pueblo Revolt, that we do the reenactment of Gatu and Amtua, because the blood of Gatu and Amtua runs through our blood.
The horses have brought a lot of hope to our younger people, and I want to continue to share that with others.
My favorite part of competing is the feeling it gives me for everybody to know where I'm from and to show my skills and to show that how good of a person and boxer I am, and to like show the world.
Our story was filmed in the summer of 2022. Sadly, it took a heartbreaking turn. On November 23rd, young Dylan Irvine took his own life. Over 300 people attended his memorial. The community is continuing its commitment to address the tragedy of suicide on the reservation. To help in that effort, and in honor of the memory of Dylan, Lloyd and Nori Irvine plan to keep racing with Dancing Boy Express.